Hello! Decided to say hi and check in on here. I've been trying to make videos here and there about 3D printing and stuff, and lately it's been a heck of a ride since there's been flooding of all kind. We've had flooding happening in our basement. These are these weird squishy barriers. Out of the way. It's because of the rain recently happening, so we're getting our foundation prepared. But the reason I wanted to make a video was because my makerspace is finally finished. So had a couple of setbacks because, as you saw in my last video, there was some flooding here, and that was because I had a hot tub overflow, but completely self-inflicted. So this room is supposed to be a bedroom, of course, so there's a closet, and I've turned into my inventory and ship station. This is where I'm holding on to a lot of lamp parts and some pre-printed parts. Got my little ship station here, still kind of in progress, of course. Boxes and computer to print things, label printer, etc. Got my little farm of Bambu Lab X1Cs and the H2D off in the corner there. Got these Gorilla brand shelving units from Costco. They're supposed to be 6 foot tall, but you can also split them in half to make them countertops, which is perfect. I just honestly lucked out with the length and width of these. Perfect for these kind of printers. My first one here has got second AMS below it, and the H2D has got a nice little stack of AMSs hanging out with it. Top shelf up here, I'm gonna put some displays of things and things I'm working on. These are some of these Star Wars and other TCG game boxes. Hey, look, there's one for One Piece. Hey, look, for One Mechana. They're coming to my Etsy shop. Speaking of logos that are recognizable, yeah, you can't really do that. It's kind of illegal to take other people's copyright. So I've been working on some alternatives so that I don't get sued. One of them is this nice little design here. This is a Magic the Gathering box. My usual Magic boxes have the Planeswalker logo like this. Getting away from that. Starting to sell in some brick and mortar stores, wholesale and consignment. So I decided to get something that's not copyrightable. In this case, we got the 5 dots from the back of the Magic the Gathering card back and made them into kind of appliques for the lids here. Yeah, so just testing those out. Decided to use silk in a nice Archimedean spiral pattern. That will appease the lawyers. So yeah, this is my little post-processing station, so I can do all kinds of stuff here. Got parts to make my Nomai masks. Those ones are not covered copyright because they have a fan merch license. Got other parts to build stuff. These are just little filament boxes. This model for these handles is on my Maker World account. If you like to, it's just a little slip-in handle, so you can use them like little drawers kind of things. Got this cool station. This toolkit, also 3D printed, holds all my tools I use most commonly. Got a heat gun pen thing that hangs out in there. Got power screwdrivers, power drivers, some more charging. And then got my filament storage, and the filament storage is semi in progress. They'll soon both be lit up with LEDs. Trying out some new methods of drying, and I got right here's a whir. This is a dehumidifier that is for gun safe. It's by Bridea, whatever, Bassinger. And it's got these little nice buttons here that lets you pick your set point. I tried 20. It's been going for about 3 days, getting down from the 60s due to the flooding down to 29, which seems to be semi-accurate. It says 29 or so. My generic one says 30, so that seems to be trustworthy. In the room, it is allegedly, this is a dehumidifier. It's off right now because I'm trying to film. So this is the power button. It's 43. There we go. Okay. So seems to be doing its job. It works rather slowly, but pretty cool. So I'm probably going to get a second one of those. I do want to do a little more A/B testing to make sure it's not a fluke, though, of course. But down from where it was to where it is now, it's doing pretty good. These cabinets are on Amazon. I have a Maker World model as well for these racks, both for the shelves and because there's not enough shelves 3D printed these risers to make 2 tiers for the bottom 2 shelves. So those are on my Maker World in all the sizes available for this brand of cabinet, as well as clips to hold the LED strips in place, because the dang paint on these shelves does not work with adhesives. So I made these little clips. Hard to see them here, but they are 3D printed clips that just kind of hold the little kind of COB type LED strips. So that's holding that together. Got some tchotchkes and my little command center here for me to do computer work stuff. Currently working on some displays. Like this is a display I built and 3D printed. That's for trade shows and for craft fairs, showing off my 3D printed night lights. It's a really fun project. Designed this from scratch, sourced the parts on Amazon, did a little bit of soldering, got it all together. See this one here. Note on these, there's mains power flowing through here. So this is printed in PCFR, or polycarbonate flame retardant. Very, very important. Just in case this got hot enough to melt, it'll just melt you a little bit instead of catching on fire. As some of you may know, PLA and PETG in flame, they will literally catch on fire, which is why you should never use 3D printed wall plates for anything touching mains. Pretty much all of my lamps include PCFR parts that touch anything with mains power. So if there's like a collar situation that's touching a screw-on collar, they are going to have PCFR for that. Same thing with these newer standalone lamps. This is the Rougier kind of recreation, and one of my own creation I call Crystal. They have PCFR parts touching the collar that the main pole attaches to. Yep, so that's definitely good for safety. And one of those reasons you don't see that many models for mains power 3D prints, and you shouldn't. If you should never 3D print mains power things from PLA or PETG. Anywho, working on some Etsy stuff. Finally putting up color options for my products. People custom order color options all the time. I always just make a custom order for them, make a custom item. Finally make some thumbnails using Bambu swatches, since that's primarily my main supplier for filament. Some of you may know I am also a secret Bambu Lab affiliate. I have a Fed affiliate code because I am part of the Maker Supply Creator Program. So I design these desiccant holders that hold rest hygrometers for both AMS and AMS2 Pro. So this is the AMS2 Pro version for a Hoyers brand hygrometer. There are 2 tiers, so they go front and back. The second tier has a big hole in it because we don't want that desiccant shading the sensor. Yeah, so these are for the original, AMS2. And of course the original AMSs have them. I actually got rid of the hygrometers in most of mine because the latest UI does a nice job of telling you somewhere what the, what do you call it? There it is. Yeah, the RH percentage on the screen now, so I'm mostly just spot checking it. Anyway, because I've made these and they've been quite successful downloads, I get pretty much all my filament for free. Gasp, shock. It's kind of a dirty secret. No, the filament here is supplied because I get points from downloads on Maker World and trade those in for gift cards. So that's why I got so much Bambu filament. I still, of course, need other things, so I do use also a lot of Polymaker. I use a Polymaker Panchroma and Polymax. Some of my favorites are the Starlight Neptune. Love that stuff. Beautiful. I think I have a roll over here. Yeah. That's some of it right there. It is gorgeous. I think I have a stand here for it too. Let's see. Yeah, this is a little stand in that Neptune. Kind of radiates kind of a purple, green, teal, blue. It's freaking beautiful in real life. It's actually hard to see on camera. But yeah, that's probably my main brand of paint filament. I do use a lot of silks from them, a couple from Inland, some PETGs from Polymaker. The older ones have these rims on them. They don't need to do that anymore though. They got the nice harder rim. But yeah, just talking about some stuff with 3D printing. Gotta fix my LED strips here. Just installed these yesterday and they're already falling over because I forgot to put the diffuser on this underside. On this side, yeah. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and walking around my office with me. let me know what you think I should talk about. I know some people have asked some questions about some of the products I make, like about support material or how something's made. I'm happy to talk about that kind of stuff. Lately, lamps have been taking over my universe. I'm making lots of sconces and lamps. Got so many more that aren't even up on my Etsy yet. And in case anyone's wondering, because I do get this question a lot, I currently don't have the lamps on MakerWorld or any repository because they get stolen. I've had to actually do several Etsy takedowns of my IP, several. Luckily, whenever that happens, I start selling it myself. So several kind of mundane things that I've seen on there, like this stand that holds a thermal printer as well as a roll and a stack, and has a guide for both, and things like this mount that takes honeycomb paper so you can stretch it. These are things that I had on MakerWorld that people stole and began to sell on Etsy without a commercial license, of course. So those are still up there. I sell one every other month or so. But the lamps were kind of my bread and butter, and having them for free up on MakerWorld didn't really work for me. They're probably in a Wayback Machine or something like that. I know Yegi still scrabbles them. If you punch in like hexagon lamp or something, you'll find one Yegi, but you won't find the actual listing. They go to dead page. But yeah, that's why they're not available for download yet. I do plan to kind of like roll some out here and there. I think a lot of them are really fun. They were a great educational experience for me to learn how to 3D model, as well as get things like mains power and just work around logistics of lamp making. So I'm a little worried about ones that are like built as a completely 100% build lamp, like the Rougier lamp here. That one's a completely built lamp that is sourced from all parts, and you wire it yourself. I'm probably going to put just the ones that are shades that you can put onto lamps you can buy off the shelf. Like Crystal here. Crystal here's a great example because it's actually just a regular shelf on Amazon, bought for like 10 bucks. And then it is actually a shade that goes onto the collar and gets screwed on. So you should use PCFR for that collar and screw. But yeah, that's just one of those things that I'm a little worried, both safety-wise for someone, but also just because of IP reasons. I'm just not going to put it on there for that thing right now. But eventually, yes, I do want to put them on there. I'm happy to help and talk about that kind of design for free, of course. Like people ask me all the time on DMs on Reddit if I could send them a file. I don't send them a file, but I do kind of offer to help, if they need any questions with Tinkercad or Fusion. That's where most of my stuff is made, in Tinkercad and Fusion. You just start in Tinkercad and then refine in Fusion. So yeah, it's a fun 3D printing hobby turned business. And that's it. See you guys later. Also, how could I forget the star of our show, Mr. Buffington? He is our orange kitty cat. And we also have another kitty cat, Mrs. Heidi. She's right here somewhere. And there he goes. Bye-bye.